All right, something is happening to Marjorie Taylor Greene. She just did a sit-down interview with comedian Tim Dillon in which she admonishes the Trump admin's deportations. She talks about Speaker of the House Mike Johnson not being up to the task. She talks about the Epstein files in a very revelatory way, and she even also says the Trump admin and Congress needs to get their shit together as it pertains to this current shutdown and healthcare crisis. Now, I'm not someone who would normally be charitable towards someone like Marjorie Taylor Greene. I mean, she's said a lot of harmful things in the past, but we also need to understand that credit where credit is due. When somebody is beginning to move over and understand the stakes of what's happening, now is not the time to shut them down or finger wag. Yes, we can disagree with Marjorie on most things that she says, but she is out there advocating in Republican spaces to Republican bases that this government shutdown is for healthcare. She is one of the only Republicans telling the truth on that. One of the only Republicans telling the truth on the Epstein files. There's a few others, of course. She's one of the only Republicans talking about the deportations in this manner. I never thought I'd be saying these words, but at the end of the day, when we have people pushing this message to Republicans, let them do it. Let them push this message. Let me show you this first clip of Epstein. Then we'll move over to the one where they talk about Speaker of the House Mike Johnson. Take a listen right here.
Why are the Epstein files such, I mean, we could all imagine why they're such a the third rail of American politics. Is it because a foreign government or an ally of America was blackmailing our politicians? We don't want that out. Is that a crazy thing to suggest?
I'm going to read you a little list that Thomas Massey read.
Okay.
And I can only read it because he's already read it on the House floor.
This is the most heinous crime ever, by the way. It's crimes against children.
Just to be clear, we don't have those names, but we have a description of them.
Okay.
So let's go over this descriptive list.
Yes.
All right. And then people can really understand why these women, and why I myself said, I'm not suicidal.
Right.
But I am afraid. A Hollywood producer worth a few $100 million, a royal prince, a high-profile individual in the music industry, a very prominent banker, a high-profile government official, one high-profile former politician, one owner of a car company in Italy, one rock star, one magician, half a dozen billionaires, including one from Canada. When you think about a list like that, those are very powerful people with a lot of influence.
Yep. Let me play the next clip where she talks about Speaker of the House Mike Johnson.
At the same time, yeah.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm really, really, really angry that my district can't get the appropriations because Mike Johnson wants to pass a CR every other month, it seems like. We can't bring tax dollars back to my district. I can't get my party
Who's he being threatened by? I mean, if he's not bringing the House back or releasing the Epstein files, Mike Johnson to me seems like someone who's being threatened. This is a completely conjecture. I have no proof of this, but he has the vibe of someone that seems to be, I don't know, he seems to be incredibly pensive and overly cautious. Or does this seem normal to you? That does he seem? I don't know. I mean, you know him. I don't know him. He seems scared.
I think so. It's Mike Johnson's a nice guy.
I'm sure.
Anybody that meets him, you're going to say, what a great guy.
Sure.
Do I think he's really up to the task? No. And I proved that when I tried to get him out of the speakership.
He's being intimidated somehow.
I don't know. I don't have an answer on that. I really don't.
Okay.
I genuinely don't have an
How
answer
about
on
Cash
that.
Patel?
But I can't agree with our strategy.
Really interesting. Marjorie Taylor Greene says the exact words, quote, he's not up to the task. Another clip of Marjorie Taylor Greene talking about labor in America as it pertains to immigration. She seems to be splitting with the Republican Party on this one, too.
As a conservative and as a business owner in the construction industry and as a realist, I can say we have to do something about labor, and that needs to be a smarter plan than just rounding up every single person and deporting them just like that.
Right.
So, and I'm going to get pushback on that, but I'm just living in reality from here on out.
Yeah.
And if I'm
How did she just choose to live in reality randomly? Well, I'm so confused.
Yeah.
I'm just living in reality from here on out.
Yeah.
And if anybody's mad at me for saying the truth, then I'm sorry.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, ladies and gentlemen.
It's really good to have Republicans in these spaces talking about these things. Okay, so here's what Marjorie has said about why she's talking like this. A few things. She's one of the only MAGA Republicans who got elected without Donald Trump's endorsement. A lot of these cats need Trump's endorsement to even get name recognition in their district. And then Trump's endorsement carries them to the finish line as well. Marjorie actually was able to do that with no Trump endorsement. I'm pretty sure Trump endorsed someone else or no one in that race. Marjorie did it all by herself. So her district does like her. Her district likes her. And it seems like they're not entirely beholden to Trump. And secondly, Marjorie Taylor Greene has seen the impacts of what's going to happen here. She has 2 children. Well, they're full-grown adults, but she has 2 kids, and they both will have their healthcare premiums double, according to Marjorie Taylor Greene. She sent out this long post saying, hey, I know that we're supposed to be, all in line all the time, but that's not me. I'm not somebody who is just a puppet for the Republican Party, and I'm going to point out that what they're doing here is harmful. She says the same thing in this clip right here. She essentially lays out, I'm not just a puppet for the party.
People are saying what happened to Marjorie Taylor Greene.
It's the funniest thing to me.
Yeah.
Because you know what it is?
Yeah.
I'm literally, nothing happened to me.
Right. Right.
I'm saying the same thoughts and feelings that I've always had.
No. This is not what she was saying 2 or 3 years ago. I actually went to one of Marjorie Taylor Greene's events. Before you get mad at me, this is part of my career. 2 years ago during the caucuses, I was going to every single event in Iowa. I went to Trump events. I'm sure you've seen it on my channel. I've been to Vivek Ramaswamy events. Like the Vivek events, I went to a bunch of those, and I used to debate with him at his events. I went to Marjorie events, and I debated with the people there. So I listened to her speak. She had the most radical rhetoric out of essentially any Republican. She was the one that was pushing the Overton window farther and farther to the right. But now that it feels like the Republican Party is super far right, she's trying to push the window back towards the center. Do you guys feel that too?
People are saying what happened to Marjorie Taylor Greene.
It's the funniest thing to me.
Yeah.
Because you know what it is?
Yeah.
I'm literally, nothing happened to me.
Right. Right.
I'm saying the same thoughts and feelings that I've always had.
Yeah.
But I'm not willing to wear the Republican jersey.
Right.
And I'm not willing to be a cheerleader. I'm not a cheerleader.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be a cheerleader. Here's the thing is, so for example, okay, let's take health insurance for example. I'm a conservative, and I can say we're $37 trillion in debt. We cannot afford a socialized healthcare plan in America. We literally cannot. But at the same time, I can say we sent almost $300 billion to Ukraine. We sent $30 billion to Israel in 2024 alone. I can say we definitely should extend these ACA tax credits, and we need to build an off-ramp because it'll cost $30 billion a year to do it. We can build an off-ramp and open up a new system that will serve every American. Yeah.
Right.
So my conservative friends will say, Marjorie, no, we cannot do that. We cannot spend that money on that. But I'm not willing to allow millions of Americans, people I personally know, constituents in my district, I'm not willing to allow their premiums to double and triple overnight starting in January of 2026.
Very well said. Marjorie Taylor Greene just cut through the entire Republican lie right there. The Republicans are lying and saying that Democrats are trying to secure health care for illegal immigrants. That is what Republicans keep saying. But Marjorie essentially just played the hand of the Republican Party by admitting this will hurt their own constituents. I'm going to leave it there. If you appreciate my analysis and the work that we do, make sure you subscribe to the feed below. I will see you all in the next video.